I think that's a great question. I think first and foremost, see, we have to realize that there's a change in the mindset in terms of saying that the present era that we're looking at, specifically with agentics and all of that stuff coming in, the agentic era has also changed the architectural stack completely. We are no longer in the same architectural stack as we were doing, right? So my first and foremost suggestion would be look at your data structure first. It's important because that's the core intelligence that you've got. We are only going to build anything on top of this core intelligence data. If you can segment your data in terms of data mesh and data lakes, great story. If it's still disparate, we can keep it into a disparate system, but there has to be a semblance or a kind of view, as we call it, of all of that disparate data into something which you want to create, right? So data is your first part. Now, second, on top of it as a layer, look at data foundation models or data models itself, right? So what is that data object model that you're trying to bring in? How will data be accessed from all of these databases that you are doing in core systems? What is going to happen? So that's your second part of the strategy that you should look at, right? As a layer up. The third is on top of it, now thinking objects would come. Now, what kind of thinking objects are you building? Are you going to do it as machine learning systems? Are you going to do as AI? And that really depends on a use case to use case basis. What is your use case? What is the objective? And have you defined a complete ROI based on that use case for your own business? What will I do if I run this use case on an AI or machine learning? There's no need to whitewash AI. There are places where AI can be applied, and there are places where all rule-based systems can run. So apply that particular logic and say, this makes sense in AI and this makes sense to my ROI. 90% of companies fail because the ROI is not defined for an AI, right? And the other 10% are still grappling with the idea of bias, ethics, and so on and so forth. So we call it the POC hell conundrum in the world that was running across.
Right.
So don't do into that hell. Just understand that what the objective would be. And once you define the objective, the technology stack on top of it can be applied by anybody, right? So you want agentics, you want plain Gen AI, you want vision-based systems to actually run. Technology is a large part available, but all of this stack that you do also defines the cost of compute for us. So when we come and talk to you, this will also define how much compute do you need? What are you going to, what is the cost going to be when you use a training mechanism or an inferencing mechanism over there, right? So that are the 3 or 4 steps that every company should look at.